Caramba, tá frio lá fora. Vou mostrar pra vocês. Nós vamos acender as luzes aqui. Lighting up the house.
Turn on the fireplace.
Vamos lá. Aqui tá mostrando 42, 78, 5 graus. Mas no meu celular tá mostrando 38 graus. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Perfumerie, I don't know. Perfumerie, é o jeito que eles falam. É a peça que o Patrick vai estar estrelando. Ele é um dos atores. Ele não é o ator principal, mas é um ator. É um papel bem legal na peça. E ele tem estudado direto. E eu tenho ajudado ele bastante a ler o script. Assim. O legal é que quando eu for assistir a peça, eu já vou saber várias falas. Vai ser divertido pra caramba. Então vamos lá, eu vou tomar a lição de casa dele agora. Esse aqui é o script, com um monte de anotação. Ó, quem nunca viu um script de peça de teatro, esse aqui tem toda a história. Vamos ver aqui, as linhas em amarelo são as falas do Patrick. Start with Horvat saying, "Not tonight anyway, thank you and goodbye."
That was a bit harsh, don't you think, Mr. Horvath?
Why can people read closed mean closed? The meaning is clear. I wish Mr. Hammerschmidt could be a little clearer with his meaning.
I told you not to argue with him.
Why should I? I don't know what's the matter with him.
And now I suppose you think you've helped by aggravating him even more.
I didn't know that. He just came into the stockroom and started it on me. What happened?
I don't want to make too much of it. The old man's been on edge for days. He said something to Horvath, Horvath answered back, one word led to another, and Mr. Horvath said he would be obliged to make other arrangements.
Sheepush returns from stocking room. Kadar. Sheepush, old boy.
Don't bother asking, I have no money.
Yes, in book form. I've always wanted to be a writer.
So what stopped you?
I didn't dare to do it alone. Shouldn't we wait for Mr. Hammerschmidt?
No, he said we should all go. He's going to stay a while yet. He said he still has some work to do. He just seems so upset.
Yes, he came in. Well, he's been in for quite a while.
So how did it happen? You said that he sent for you?
He sent our pot for me.
Oh, that's wonderful. And what did he say when you got here?
He was very friendly, and he's calling me George again.
Oh, I'm so happy. And how about his nerves? Is he still on edge? All right, I'll be right back. I just want to put these things away, and then I want you to tell me everything, every detail.
Every detail. It's so funny that every detail.
Every detail. I was suspicious of all this letter writing in the first place. Writes letters to a girl for a year and a half, claims he's madly in love with her, and then he doesn't even go and in the end, he doesn't even go and so much as take a look at her. Well, all he does is write letters, 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 and more letters. Who do you think you are, Goethe? Tell her honestly exactly what happened, and then
Apologize again.
Oh, sorry. If it's going to be nothing but letters, then I suggest you write a very nice letter right away. Apologize again for not showing up.
It was me. I was the secret love. She said she had the letters.
Did she show them to you?
She did better than that. She quoted from them.
Like what, for instance?
For instance, that I love her more than Romeo and Juliet.
Anyone could have written that.
More than Troilus loved Cressida.
Okay, that's a little bit more unusual.
Like Abelard loves Heloise.
Did you write that too?
Yes.
All in the same letter?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Good morning.
Good morning. She exits. And what did you say? Or what did she say?
Who?
Who? Amalia, of course. What did she say when you told her?
I didn't tell her.
Why not?
How could I tell her? She hates me.
So what happens now? You just continue writing letters? Amalia, dear, tell Mr. Hammerschmidt that you're going home.
Oh no, I'm feeling much better now, Mr. Sheepish.
No, you're not. You've got a cold and you shouldn't fool around with a cold. You're running a temperature. The best place for you would be to go home and go to bed. What was all the noise? Blah, blah, blah. Good, you had it coming. What happened to you? Really, somebody we know? Good boy.
Okay. Act 4.
That's milking it for the camera, and Max is sniffing his penis. Good footage.
Yeah.
Max, that's enough. I'm being upstaged by a chocolate lab. Okay, let's move on.
Say he should make a full recovery. They hope to release him soon.
Do you know who else was there?
Who?
Mrs. Hammerschmidt.
Afraid of what?
For a year now, there's been talk that somebody will have to be laid off. Who else could that mean but me? I'm the oldest, not a flashy young salesman, just old sheepo who's been here forever. It became sort of a hobby with me. At first, it was difficult trying to keep up with him, running all about the neighborhood. But then one day, why not?
Because it's ridiculous.
What's ridiculous?
That Miss Balish could be in love with me. It just doesn't make any sense.
So you're going to stand her up again? Time to go, Amalia dear. It's getting late. I hear that you invited Mr. Horvath for Christmas Eve dinner.
Yes, I did. I couldn't bear the thought of him spending Christmas Eve alone. He's so different now. You know, it's funny, Shippush, but he seems twice the man he used to be.
I think you've got something there, my dear.
Of course, Mr. Shippush.
Thank you. Good night. And Merry Christmas to both of you. And I'm done.
Yeah! You're very good.
I walk past the window and I give a little peek back with a smile. And then I go.
You're very much better than the last time.
This really helps, actually. It helps me more than doing it in the car.
E aí, gente, o que vocês acharam? Viu como é difícil? Pra mim já é difícil acompanhar aqui isso que eu tô lendo e tô controlando o que ele fala pra ver se ele tá falando certo, porque aí eu tenho que ajudar ele, né? Então pra mim é difícil ali, porque eu tô concentrado no que ele tá falando, aí logo vem o que eu tenho que falar ali, daí, nossa, travava assim várias vezes. Então o Patrick vai falar alguma... You have something to say about memorizing and how the actors...
It's funny, you know, one of the questions as an actor you get asked the most all the time is how do you memorize all those lines? That's the number one question we always get asked. Which for an actor is really kind of silly in a way. I mean, I understand why it's, you know, people are amazed about it. I have a lot of lines in this play. But that's really only where the work begins, is memorizing the lines. All the work on character and motivations and their intentions and what are their objectives and their tactics to accomplish their objectives, that all is the important part. That's how you tell the story. So when I get a script, you know, as you can see, I've got notes and tabs and all kinds of crap sticking out of it. It's, you know, the tabs show me where the act breaks are. I highlight my dialogue, which helps me to visually memorize. Some actors really memorize visually. They see the lines on the page while they're doing the show or rehearsing. They literally can see them in their mind, right? I'm not that way at all. I have to learn it by rote. I have to learn it by, you know, where I'm standing on the stage helps me to link lines to the movement. What is being said to me from the other characters, what's actually the dialogue of the conversation. That's how I have to memorize it.
Yeah, because there's some lines that are not connected with the previous
line. Yeah,
line or previous
I have a
conversation.
lot of those.
Yeah,
where I say something and it almost could be anything. You know, a lot of times I'm just saying, "What? Why do you say that? What do you mean?" And it's just a prompt for the other actor. But
it's not linked with the other actor said.
It's not a direct response. Yeah. And sometimes the characters aren't even listening to each other really as they talk to each other. They're just kind of rambling and they talk over each other, you know. But
what happens with you during the play? Like, you are concentrating in the story in the play, or you are concentrating on your lines and what you have to say next, and if your line is coming up,
yeah, that's a good question. There's, you know, I've talked to other actors about this, and you want to be what we refer to as in the moment as much as you can, which means what? Oh, I'm vibrating. Sorry. As much as you can, so that you are listening actively to the other characters that are talking and responding in a natural way, right? So you don't want to be so in your head that all you're doing is spouting lines, because then it's not really a conversation. And what's wonderful about live performance as opposed to like a film is that it's a little different every night, right? So the energy from the audience makes it subtly different, and you feel different as an actor from night to night.
It's not a completely improvised.
No, it's not improvised at all. We're rehearsing for weeks.
Let's say it's a subtle improvisation.
Yeah, but you want to be connected and in the moment so that you're responding realistically to the energy that's handed to you by the other actor that night. Not the same every night, but but yet it's planned. I mean, you've rehearsed it, so it's roughly the same.
There's no place to mistake.
Right, and if you have to be in the moment and there present enough that if something does go wrong, you can quickly think and recover, right? Because sometimes actors do forget lines. They'll drop a line, and you have to either feed it to them in the form of a question to get back on track.
And you cannot call the line.
Yeah.
Line!
You only do that in rehearsal. So, but at the same time, back to your question, while you are there and you're trying to live and breathe and think as the character, you, the actor, is kind of hovering above, right? And you're watching it and you're monitoring it and you're thinking, okay, what's coming up next? Where do I have to be? What am I supposed to be doing? This show is also very prop heavy. We have tons of stuff that we have to deal with. It's a parfumerie, so there are dozens of shelves covered with bottles and boxes, and we're constantly restocking. And so I've got all this shit to deal with,
I don't like too much those plays with where the stage it's empty. They're only the actors.
Yeah. Oh, this stage is full of crap. In fact, I have to decorate 3 windows for Christmas and an entire Christmas tree all by myself
every night
during this show. Right? All that stuff about who's staying to dress the windows, who wants to decorate. Everybody leaves. It's all to me. I have to do it all the thing.
Shit.
Yeah. So every night I have to literally carry a Christmas tree in and decorate it.
And you still want to
during
decorate
the
the house
action
here.
of the play. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So getting back to it, the way I work the lines, I go through and I highlight them. I read them over and over again until it starts to flow and I start to get that line, and then I go on to the next line, and then I connect the two, and then it's just tedious work, but it's work that you do. That's your homework. The other thing that works for me, and not different actors work differently, but I record all the lines. So into my phone now, modern technology, I used to do it with a recorder, but I actually record all the dialogue that I'm part of. And so I speak my lines and I speak the other characters' lines as well, so that on my drive in the car, because the theater is actually about 45 minutes away from here, that drive back and forth, I'm not just wasting that time. So I can literally play it through my car speakers, and as I'm driving, I'm talking along with my own voice saying the lines. I recorded it fairly slowly, but now I speed it up and I talk with it as fast as I possibly can. Because as you can tell, it's fast. It's really fast. It's faster than we were doing it. So,
so
anyway,
I was slowing you down.
Oh, that's all right. And it's a good exercise for you too. But,
yes.
So anyway, and then during the rehearsal process, once we go what's called off book, meaning we're no longer allowed to carry our scripts on stage, for a period you're allowed to call for lines. So if you get stuck in character, you just stop and say line. They give you the first few words, you pick it right back up and go on. Eventually, we get to a stage which is called no lines called, which means at that point, they're not going to give you the line anymore. You've got to figure it out or make it up, right? Because eventually that's what you have to do on stage. What they start to do then is give you line notes, and I don't have any of those with me right here, but they literally write down for us, this is what you said, this is what it's supposed to be, and then we get, I get pages of those every night.
I can't wait to see you on stage.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
So, anyway.
Okay, the thing is getting too big. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this.
You can edit it into pieces.
I think I'm gonna...
I just talk a lot.
Ok, gente, então é isso sobre a peça. Agora, nos próximos vídeos eu vou estar mostrando lá no teatro, onde tem um ensaio mesmo. E ainda tem mais uma coisa que vai acontecer que eu vou deixar mais nos próximos vlogs que eu vou comentar. Vai ser interessante. Eu vou ajudar lá no teatro. Vai ser legal.
Bye!